Okay, so I didn't unmute myself. I do apologize for that one. Let me know now if the audio and the video sound fine. I didn't unmute myself. Don't worry. There's nothing that has gone wrong with the microphone. However, now that I've unmuted myself, please let me know if the audio sounds fine. It might be a little bit soft compared to the background music, so just let me know if the background music is too loud, too soft. As I said, I've had to recreate everything, so it might not be up to scratch for this stream, but don't worry, Game Week 7's deadline stream will be as good as it usually is. At least, hopefully, this one is acceptable. But thanks for joining me back after a pretty kind of extended deadline stream. Then our computer setup was bad for the streaming setup last week, so we missed the Game Week 5 deadline. So thanks for kind of joining me after a pretty prolonged break. Hopefully you guys are doing fine and your FPL teams haven't gone to complete shreds. My own team, we've had a couple of red arrows, unfortunately sitting around the 650k mark, which is not where we would like to be from kind of Game Week 2, Game Week 3. But comparing to kind of last season, this start is absolutely outstanding. I think last season we were about the 4 million mark, 3 million mark. So to give you guys some kind of backing, if you're not having the best kind of overall rank at this stage, don't worry, it's a long season. Even kind of Game Week 10, Game Week kind of 18 halfway almost, it's going to be a kind of a big stretch in the second half, so don't worry too much about your current rank. But let's get back to this kind of a Game Week 6 content. I've made no transfers, so I've got 2 transfers in the bank and 2.1 million left, so we can make an upgrade if we choose so, but I don't exactly know if I'll be using both transfers, only one. Or kind of maybe making a massive upgrade in terms of our defense, getting someone like a Trippier. But I'll take you guys through the transfer plan pretty shortly. Now I'm just going to go over the chat. So everyone's just saying there that I'm muted. I do appreciate you guys watching out for me. We have Harry saying, all Gucci, thanks, appreciate that one, brother. Sabi with a question saying, have 2 free transfers, but have 3 problems. Replacements for Jackson, Martinelli, plus get the Newcastle defense. What to do? I think that Jackson, in your case, is probably a keep then. If you have 2 other situations with injuries, Sabi, I'd probably go for Martinelli and a Newcastle defender. Jackson, for me, isn't kind of a necessity to transfer out. I'm actually potentially thinking about keeping him because the Chelsea fixtures coming up are pretty decent. It's just the fact that he's not hitting form at the current moment, but the stats are still looking good. But there's been a massive debate, and I'm pretty sure we'll have a debate in this stream about should we keep Nicholas Jackson or not. Tarang saying, all is well, Davey. Happy to see you back. And thanks, congratulations, thanks, I do appreciate it, Tarang. Thank you for the nice words. Wilson saying, nice hairstyle. I literally just combed it to the side, but I do appreciate it, Wilson. Kieran saying, good morning, time to get back to the top of the mini leagues. Good luck against the Irish. Thanks, we're going to need it, Kieran. It's going to be a tough game. Are there any kind of Ireland natives or Ireland fans here? We might not be friends in this stream, but come tomorrow, I'll be back on kind of the Ireland way of things. So Barry already saying there, Ireland is better than SA. Look, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk about too much rugby because I don't think many people watch rugby, but all I'll say is that I've spoken to some people this week that have said that we should lose to Ireland today and just hope you guys beat Scotland so that we don't face New Zealand in the knockouts. So, I don't know, I would rather face New Zealand than France at the current moment, but some people have been saying that we should actually throw today. So, let's just say if we lose today, that's going to be my excuse. Lewis Ward, I'm currently ranked top 3k overall. Thank you for your tips so far. Thanks, Lewis. Great rank there. Hopefully you can continue it. Hopefully my advice stays good for you. Maybe you should give us some advice about what your moves are this week, because you seem to be doing pretty well. Aiden saying Jackson to Alvarez / Darwin from -4. I wouldn't do it from -4. I'd probably just keep Jackson. Harry's been a member for 18 months. We've hit the 1.5-year anniversary. Harry, brother, do always appreciate you. Thanks a lot for that. And hopefully you enjoy your stay. Hopefully you kind of extend that to 3 years soon. Vincent saying, you absolute legend. Life is tough without your deadline streams. I don't think it's that tough. I don't think missing my face for an hour a week is probably, it makes your weekend even better probably, but hopefully we can give you some good advice here, Vincent. No electricity outages. South Africa or the government has postponed load shedding for the entire long weekend. So I don't know if you guys also have this, but Monday's a public holiday here in SA. It's Heritage Day. So for the whole long weekend, we have no load shedding, but I have solar anyways, so it's not the worst. What are your transfers? Flame of Fire. I'll get to them quickly. Let me just read out Unkit's legend commenting. We move on, says Unkit. We definitely do move, brother. Thank you for becoming a legend for 19 months total. You a long-termer here. So hopefully you also enjoy your stay. And many more to come. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's go over some transfer plans. Dejan saying I miss you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Let me just refresh here so you guys get a full kind of view. It might be a little bit zoomed out. I do apologize for that. Also, what I noticed is I look pretty white considering I've just been to the beach. But I will fix the tan or the saturation or whatever in the camera for next stream. But this is going to be the current team, as you guys can see at the top. 2 free transfers and 2.1 million left in the bank, and there are a couple of transfer plans that we can potentially do. The first one I want to talk about is going to be the obvious one, which is going to be Nicholas Jackson. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily think that he's the kind of biggest transfer out at the current moment. You guys can't see the fixture ratings, but just kind of watch these highlighted ones here. Aston Villa, Fulham, Burnley in the next 3. The Villa game might be a little bit tough, but they've been conceding quite a lot of XG. But then Fulham and Burnley are definitely 2 teams that I would want to target. But unfortunately, he hasn't been scoring points. You guys can definitely see the points here. 1 point, 1.7 points, pretty decent. Then 1 point from game week 1 and 2. But if we go over XG involvement stats, I think his XG is always going to be a little bit higher. I mean, just look at this one, 0.92. And he ended on 1 point. That's just simply outstanding. I don't really know what happened there. If it was just a bunch of chances, bunch of smaller chances accumulating. But that amount of XG and no returns is simply criminal. Even from an XA point of view, 0.41. I mean, 1.33 and getting nothing out of that game is simply outrageous. But you can also see it's kind of a trend here. 0.83, 0.54. He did get a goal against Luton. So that was pretty nice from an XG of 0.89 involved. And then against Bournemouth, it was a pretty kind of lackluster game. Didn't have a lot of XG. 0.21 for a striker isn't the best in the world. And his XA wasn't decent. So the player that we're looking to replace him with, you guys know who it is. Let me just look down here. So my keyboard, sorry, it's been a bit blocked. It's going to be Julian Alvarez. So when we go on to his stats are a little bit kind of interesting. Pretty respectable kind of XG stats, but this was against Sheffield United, so pretty easy fixture. Against West Ham, 0.49, but he got 2 assists there. Against Fulham, he absolutely smashed it. 1 goal, 2 assists from an XG involvement of 0.67. So this was a significant underperformance here. So to be involved in 0.67 goals and having been involved in 3, that is quite an over performance there. But I mean, that's fine. If he's an elite finisher, if he's playing with elite finishers, they'll finish those chances. But I'm just what I'm kind of translating here is that the stats aren't necessarily that much better than Jackson. It's just the fact that Alvarez has been overperforming and Jackson has been underperforming. So that's kind of the big takeaway, but I do think that's definitely a transfer we might do. The other one that's pretty set is it's between Saliba and Chilwell. I don't think we'll get Chilwell news though. I think we'll have to probably lean on Saliba out. I just think the highest ceiling is definitely going to be on Ben Chilwell's side. If he plays those 2 games like Jackson, if he plays against Fulham and Burnley, that's guaranteed points. So I'm willing to take the odds there and just kind of hope that, or willing to take the risk, should I say, and just keep Chilwell for now. And then it will be Saliba out for a Newcastle defender. Currently, I'll ask your guys for your rankings, but at the current moment, I'm looking to actually bring in Botman over Trippier. So that's my current thinking. But I don't know, I might be swayed to go for Trippier. I just think that I might need the value in the future, and that's why I might just go for Botman. I'm not too fond of Shaw at the current moment. His stats aren't that great this season. I think Botman's outperforming him from an attacking point of view, and he's cheaper, so I might as well just go for the cheaper option. And I don't exactly know about Trippier. I'm a bit worried about some potential rotation there, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards taking Saliba out to Botman. What's up, bro? Go Boca, says Bradley, 100%. We got Where Davey. Who would you have between Rashid or Saka this game week? I probably would go for Saka this game week, but I think I'd go for Rashid for the long term. But it's a very tough one between those two. But I think you have to go with the player that's been slightly more consistent, and that's going to be Saka. Would you have Morris in your wildcard? I don't think so. I think I'd have a similar setup to the one that I created a few days ago. I think the only change I might make is now for Areola in goal to give you some more value in the bank. But that's probably the only thing I would do. John saying, love the Springbok shirt, Brew. Questions for you, Burn or Shaw? I would go for Shaw over Burn. I worry about Burn's placement. I think that he's going to be rotated more than Fabian Shaw will, so I would go for him. But out of the two, you probably own Botman. That's why you're asking, John. But if you don't own Botman, I would rather go for him. Start Chilwell or Udogie. Kieran, I'm definitely going to be starting Chilwell over Udogie. Sorry, this lineup is a little bit kind of blurred, I would say, just because I'll probably be taking Saliba out. Udogie will drop to my bench. So that's why I've just got Udogie here, because if I was to play this lineup, I would go for it. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to take out Saliba for Botman, and then I'll just play Botman. Come on, Ireland, Fintan. I mean, 100%. I'm hoping that you guys are supporting your home countries. I just hope that mine wins. But definitely, I hope that it's just a good game, brother. Hope you're good, mate. I'm doing pretty well. The stats back Trippier, and he's a bonus magnet. Vernon, yeah, he is a bonus magnet, but the stats are looking a little bit sided. Like, let's just say, take the price difference into account. I know they've had hard fixtures, but I think that the XG involvement, not really XA from Botman's side, but let's just say XG from Botman, isn't that shabby, especially when he's quite a bit cheaper. And I think Trippier hasn't kicked on this season like he has in the previous season. Look, that might come against the easier fixtures. It definitely probably will, but I just think at his price point, I might just rather go for Botman at the moment. And then we can always bring Trippier in for Chilwell in a few game weeks' time, or we can just go for an Aston Villa defender. But that's my current thoughts at the current moment. How about a keeper change? Yeah, SH, that's why if you guys do follow me over on Twitter, go follow me if you don't. I'm not the most active person on Twitter, but I posted a tweet saying, are there any Crystal Palace sources? Because if Botman is benched, I mean, not Botman, if Johnston's benched, I'm probably will make a goalkeeper transfer then. And that's where I'm leaning towards maybe not going for Alvarez then. But if Johnston does play, then that could be good. Gary's saying, are you annoyed with United assets? So, as a Liverpool fan, it's a little bit of a weird relationship that I have. I kind of hope that United don't do well, but then I own Bruno and I own Rashford, but they simply haven't been doing too great. But I wouldn't say I'm annoyed with them. I would just say that I'm willing to be patient with them, because at the moment, the stats are still looking fine. I mean, how Rashford didn't get an attacking return last game against Brighton, I don't know. He had so much kind of XG and XA. So I think I'm willing to give them a few more game weeks. The fixtures still look pretty decent. And the thing about United, I'll bring them up right now for you guys, is I know you guys can't see the fixture difficulties, but if you hold them till game week 11, they have Fulham, Luton, and Everton. I mean, those fixtures are great. I can see myself holding them between Crystal Palace, Brentford, Sheffield. I mean, then they have Man City, which isn't a great game. But then after that, Fulham, Luton, and Everton, I could see myself in a world actually keeping both these assets. But I guess then I won't go for Salah. Irish United fan here, praying for a good weekend. I mean, hopefully it will be a good weekend for you. But yeah. Andy says Alvarez starts. Okay, thank you for that one. I can't watch all the other FPL YouTubers streams, so do always appreciate you guys coming in. Okay, Alvarez starts, says Andy, so we have that 45 minutes before the deadline, which is pretty decent. Okay, so that means that he is going to play, which does spice things up a bit. I do think that makes the move a little bit easier to make, obviously, because he is going to definitely be starting. So I guess I'll probably put up a poll for you guys. Would you do Jackson to Alvarez? I'm going to just put that. You guys don't have to answer in chat, don't worry. You don't have to use your minute slow chat on this question. Jackson to Alvarez question mark, and then it's just going to be a yes and a no. Okay, I've started that poll. You guys can go and vote on that one if you want to. Answer it as honestly as possible. Think of if you guys own Jackson, what would you guys do? But thank you for that one. Chenakum for the post there. Last number saying, what's up, Davey? Start Fati or Richarlison for draft. Okay, so Fati plays for Brighton. I would still go with Richarlison. I don't think Ansu Fati will start that game, but I mean, he could, but I don't know. Howdy, boss. How about Rashford and Bruno to Salah and Diaby? Can I do that? Let me just check if I have enough money for that. I don't think I'll do the Salah move this week, but I mean, he could do well, but I think I'm willing to give them an extra week. Okay, let me just go. Sorry, the two monitors. Oh yeah, I can do that move. thanks, Joel, for that one. But yeah, that's put a little bit of a thought in my mind. I think maybe I'll do that next week if they don't look strong. But what I might just do is hold off for the next 2 fixtures. Let me just see how Salah's looking. I think I'll hold off probably until game week 9. Then we might look at doing that. So that's what I'll probably will end up doing. So thanks for that recommendation though. I haven't really been looking at Salah much, but definitely something I could do. Rafa Reza, hey, will we get early team use? So at the current moment, Andy said that Alvarez is starting. Sorry, my mind just went blank for a minute. Why not Baldock out for Botman, says Wilson. It's just I want to keep that cheap bench option, to be honest. But I could also do that move. I don't want too much kind of bench rotation though, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Because what might happen in the future then is if I need those funds, I might just downgrade one of my other defenders to a cheaper defender. But I don't even need Baldock to start many games anyways. SH said freeze. Okay, also let me know that, guys, because I am streaming on a higher quality. So the stream, just tell me if the stream's buffering, if the stream video is going down. Just let me know all the updates, please. I'm really interested to see if we do get a silky smooth stream today. Because as I said, I am streaming on a higher quality and at a higher rate. Davey, it's been a minute. This is my first live in a bit. Pedro, it's been my first live in a bit as well, brother. I haven't streamed. When I reused the settings for the stream, it was game week 3 that I lost at a deadline stream. So that's absolutely insane. Hashem saying, welcome back and wish you happy life, Davey. Just joined. What is our plan for the 2 free transfers? So the current moment, we do see that Alvarez is going to be definitely starting, which is pretty much what people have been predicting. So it's, do we take Jackson out for Alvarez this week? That's the only thing. And then the second move will be Botman in, probably for Saliba, and then we'll see how that goes. Are you considering Botman instead of Trippier and therefore delaying your wildcard? Dominic, yes, I'm pretty much... Look, guys, I won't lie to you. I'm not looking to wildcard anytime soon. When I was looking at my wildcard plans, I was looking at holding it till kind of game week 19 even. So I don't think I'm going to be wildcarding anytime soon. I think the team looks fine for the future. Obviously, things might change. Game week 10 looks like a popular kind of wildcard week. But at the current moment, I'm taking it easy. I think that this team looks pretty decent for the short term, medium term. So I'm not looking to delay the wildcard. I'm just looking at maybe getting some funds in and going Botman over Trippier for the moment. Yes, so Marco, we did get that news. I did announce it. But if you guys want to know, Alvarez is definitely starting. And that has been confirmed by Andy. So thanks for him for that drop of news. Adam saying Boca, how's it, Davey? Play both Bruno and National bench, one of them for Diaby, can't decide. So Aston Villa, they play... Sorry, I'm just gone blank here. So Aston Villa always miss out on them. They play Chelsea. I would play definitely Bruno and Rashford on that one. It's a little bit of an easy one for me there. I think you go with your Burnley opponents. I would rather go for those 2 assets. So we do have some questions about a bench order. Start 3, bench 2 among Chilwell, Udogie, Maddison, Diaby, and Watkins. So that is a tough one. I'd bench Udogie definitely. I would probably bench... You see, Surye, this is tough between Diaby and Watkins, because I would argue that at the current moment, Diaby is a better option than Watkins, but I think you probably have to play Watkins. So I might just hope... What I might just do is, if you want to put on all your eggs in one basket in terms of the bench, I would just bench Udogie and Maddison, and then if you have an Arsenal defender, just hope they keep a clean sheet, and then you play Chilwell, Diaby, and Watkins. That's what I might do. But because you own Chilwell, I would play the odds of probably benching him and playing Diaby, Watkins, and Maddison. Can you do that? I would play the attackers in that case. Now, FPL News have tweeted that Foden and Alvarez starts. Okay, so that's pretty much as predicted. So if you guys want to know, apparently, let me just confirm, but Foden and Alvarez are both starting. Okay, so Doku also starts. So Doku does start as well. If you guys are looking for a little of a 2-week punt, you can also go for him. Nice to have you back. Thanks, Andy. No, so I did end up getting married, Andy. It was a normal type of honeymoon. Yeah, Yeah, so it wasn't any other honey, it was the normal one. So yeah. How do you rate... Oh no, I forgot Eric how to pronounce his name. But I think he's a fine asset. But like from a forward point of view, look, you have Haaland. You probably have Jackson or Alvarez now. Watkins is coming into the future. I don't know if I would go for... If it's the Nottingham Forest striker, if you guys can post the pronunciation, but I've just gone blank on him. I think that you'd probably rather go for those assets at the current moment. Eduardo Alvarez. I think Alvarez for the punt. I think you're probably going to go for someone else as a striker in the future. But I think you have to go with any kind of Man City asset that's guaranteed to play at the current moment, which looks like Alvarez is going to be guaranteed to play. I think that that's just kind of nailed for points. So that's what I would say. Genga saying, oh, congratulations, welcome to the club. Don't believe the hype. I mean, it's been pretty fine up until now, so thank you for that one, though. Luis Diaz to Mbumo. I would keep Luis Diaz. He's a fine option. Thanks for the content. Like always, says David, the quality of the stream is immense. Would you suggest to start a Kanji or Chilwell if you had to choose? I would start a Kanji. Let me just go over to Fantasy Football Scout Luke's prediction, because he usually is pretty bang on with the kind of prediction of the Man City lineup. Let me just get this for you. Okay. A Kanji or Chilwell. So let's just see. Okay, so Kanji looks like he's going to be starting, so I would just go for a Kanji. The clean sheet odds are better there. Would you consider Wilson instead of Alvarez? Yes, if his guaranteed minutes were better, but at the current moment, I can't really trust him. Chilwell to Trippier, that's a fine move to do. I personally prefer Saliba out because of the lower ceiling, and I'm always banking that Chilwell starts today and then looks strong, and then hopefully in the future, he'll look pretty good. Fraser said, a success in your future endeavors. Thank you, I do appreciate it. Chilwell out, Trippier in. Also have Cobble. That's a fine move. Chilwell out, Trippier in is okay. When you bring in a Trippier player, when you bring in a Liverpool player, Salah the Egyptian, I don't exactly know. I think that's why I'm looking to bring in Botman over Trippier, because I want those funds. I just want the possibility of bringing in Mo Salah in the future, but I don't exactly know when I'm looking to do it. Not enough for Botman. Would you bring in Burn instead? Cash. That's a fine move, but I don't like Burn as much. But I guess if you can't afford Botman, then and you want a Newcastle defender, that's who you go for. How many hits taken warrant just playing the wild card? John, because it's quite early on, I would maybe say like a -8, -12. I'd say -12 is probably where I would be looking. I think a -8 is fine as long as you're confident in those moves. I just don't know. I think if your team really needs it, you can just wildcard. The wildcard is good for this week up until probably game week 10 onwards. There's some slight changes that might happen, but you're looking at a pretty strong kind of wildcard template for the next couple of game weeks. So I would say maybe a -12 is where I would say that's a wildcard. But if you can argue your -8 could be a -4, then I would just keep it. What I'm saying there is just kind of if you look at one of those moves and you think, that's a little bit of luxury there, I can just keep whoever I have. For example, if it's Jackson to Alvarez, I would just keep Jackson. That's a fine move in my bit. That's a fine player to kind of keep. But I'd say a -12 is usually the sweet spot. Chilwell to Trippier for a hit worth it. No, Salah, I would just keep Chilwell. I don't like those kind of -4s for a defender, because then what you're saying is, yes, maybe if the player you bring in keeps a clean sheet and the player you take out blanks, then that's worth the hit. But otherwise, you're almost hoping for attacking returns. Do you keep Son only because I had 2 free transfers? Hi, do we keep Son? Ropefly, do you mean you have 2 free transfers this week or last week? Because if you only have 1 free transfer, I would just keep Son. I think you just keep Son for the next 2. Yes, they are tougher, but Spurs can still score. And then they have those early fixtures from Game Week 8 onwards. So that's what I would do. Udogie or Gabriel? I would go for Udogie. I think he's got more attacking threat. Might also suggest Salah and Doku. That's a move that you can also do, but I think I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick regrettably probably with these United assets. Sell Bayer or Baldock for Botman. You sell Baldock. He has the double game week, I think, coming up, but I mean, he's injured at the current moment. What do you think of Fernandes out for Doku? I would just keep Bruno for now. It's an interesting move. If you need value, for example, Pedro, like what Joel just said, if you really want Salah, then Bruno to Doku is fine. Do those transfers fast. I might crash anytime. So the only thing is we've got the news like 30 minutes before, so I think we should be fine for kind of a news. Okay, let me just check. Okay, so we might have some more early city team sheet news, but I don't really think so. Only reason I'm saying that is that Andy said he won't get any more, but maybe Lazy FPL does get more. What do you think about Saka out for Foden? I would just keep Saka. Everton at home's a great fixture. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? So Darth, not much. Just me talking the usual FPL. But other than that, the moves we're looking at is potentially kind of bringing in an Alvarez or a Botman. And the news that you've missed is that Doku, Foden, and Alvarez all confirmed to start. A sharpshooter saying Boca, yeah, 100%. Hopefully we do well today. Start Odogi or Luca Digne? That's a tough one. I might just say go for Digne because of the bad Chelsea attacking form. Burn or Regulon? Burn, Marco. When will you be confirming your transfers? I can actually do them probably pretty soon. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is this kind of Jackson move. I don't know about this Jackson to Alvarez move, but 82% of you guys are saying do the Jackson move. So that's a quite high percentage. We're going nearly 300 votes on yes to Jackson to Alvarez. But yeah, that's kind of the only thing I'm thinking about. What are you drinking today? I'm drinking strawberry juice. Unfortunately, it's no Steri Stumpy. The other move is pretty much locked in. I think it's Saliba out for Botman. I could go for Trippier as well. I have enough funds for it, but I think there might be a future move I might want to do that requires those funds. Yeah, Bayer's not injured. Yeah, he played last game week. Yeah, but Baldock is currently injured. That's why I was saying rather do Baldock to Botman. Yeah, so that's what I would say. You mean United liabilities? Yeah, exactly. I didn't take accounting for long, but I know liability is not great. But I mean, that's just common English. Chilwell or Stupinan, apologies if you've answered already. Harry, are you asking to start or are you asking to transfer out? Because that changes a little bit. I'll answer both variants. If it's to take out, I would take out Chilwell rather than a Stupinan. And it's who to play, it's definitely a Stupinan. But I know what you're probably saying. I'm worried about a Stupinan's place because at the current moment, De Zerbe said that there might be some rotation, and after playing like 100 minutes midweek, he could be benched, but I don't exactly know because I think he did get his rest already. So I think that he should probably play, and I hope that he does. Confident of Chilwell getting back in and retaining his place. Andy, I'm not, but I'm hoping it happens. So what's basically going to happen is I think they'll play the same back four, but is Ben Chilwell going to start at left wing or left mid? Fingers crossed he does. Maybe almost like kind of a left wing back. I'm hoping that he performs because the next two are too juicy for Chelsea. The one thing I'm waiting for is that hopefully we get some early Crystal Palace news. I don't exactly think we will. But if we get news that we have potential Johnston benching, then we might actually change the move to a goalkeeper transfer. That's the only reason I'm waiting, to be honest. Can you speak Dutch? I can't speak Dutch, but I can speak Afrikaans, which is kind of similar. But what people say is like Afrikaans is basically if Dutch didn't evolve, because I think it's a little bit old, maybe not as evolved, let's say that. But yeah, so I can understand some words. Some words are the same as Dutch and Afrikaans, but sometimes they're different. Sell Sterling for Doku, what do you think? I'd probably just keep Sterling, to be honest. Like, I can understand the appeal of Doku, but I think that Jackson is a sell to Alvarez more than Sterling is for Doku. That's what I'll say. And I mean, Grealish is back on the bench, so maybe he gets some minutes today. I'm just going to check Twitter again to see if we get anything. Okay. So Diaz, Foden, Alvarez, and Haaland all start. So that's apparently also... yeah, so again, Diaz, Foden, Alvarez, and Haaland. So I know there were some people worried about Haaland, but it looks like he's going to be playing. Yeah, so if you have Diaz, you can play him. Davey, help. One free transfer left, says Vincent. Madison to Mbuma or Chilwell to Shaw. So you don't even have to do either of those moves. I would probably keep Madison. I think he's too good for the future game weeks. Chilwell to Shaw / Botman. That's a fine move to do. I just don't know if it's essential. Who are your other defenders, Vincent, this week that you're playing over those? Watkins to Alvarez. Watkins to Alvarez is a little bit of a harder one than Jackson, I feel. Let me think. Let me just check these Villa fixtures to give you the best kind of news. So Watkins, okay. So Watkins has Chelsea, Brighton, Wolves, West Ham. I mean, his fixtures are fine, to be honest. I think I might just keep Watkins. It's like, but I mean, I guess Jackson's fixtures have also been fine. In the Netherlands for another football trip, says Cammy. Good luck this week, Davey. Thank you. Hopefully you have safe travels and hopefully the footy is pretty decent. Yeah, Watkins hasn't scored yet, but at least he's been slightly consistent with kind of assists. But yeah, I can understand the appeal of a Watkins to Alvarez, but I don't know. Should I keep Matoma or change to Foden / Sterling? I think this week it's quite a tough one to bench a Matoma. Yes, he could be rotated, but I mean, if he does start, I think he's a great asset. So I would probably just keep him. I'm late. I hope I didn't miss out on anything. I don't think you did. I mean, I've had some advice, some questions answered, but overall we haven't done any rotation of our players. Aware Brew, greetings from Portugal. I love SA. Antonio, do appreciate the love, brother. Hopefully Portugal is nice and sunny today. Leno, best keeper transfer. I would probably say Areola right now to save the funds. That's what I would probably go for. Replacement of Martinelli. So if you have the usuals, like if you have an Mbuma already, he'd probably be my favorite replacement. But otherwise, I think you can go early on a Diaby from Aston Villa. That should be fine. Start Udogie or Saliba Lakabru. I would go for Udogie out of those two. I think Saliba has that clean sheet better odds, but I don't think either team keeps a clean sheet. I think it's going to be both teams score, and then obviously Udogie has the better attacking threat. So yeah. Okay, let's go on to some... okay, so Guardiola starts. If you guys want to know if you own Guardiola, he does play. Okay, I'm just interested. So a lot of people saying the Alvarez move. So I think that one's probably pretty kind of set. I'm going to end this poll now, and I'm going to put up another poll for you. If you guys were in my shoes, who would you bring in? Who would you bring in? Okay, I'm going to ask between Botman and Trippier, who would you bring in? Fabian Shaw, in my opinion, is a bit kind of in the middle, but I would probably go between these two. So who would you guys bring in if you were in my shoes out of these two? Hear me out. Archer / Saliba to Alvarez and Botman. But then Harry, my bench is going to be stacked for like eternity then. Because then I'll have to play Alvarez. So who am I going to bench out of my forwards? I don't know. Maybe Jackson? Maybe Saka? I don't know. I just think that's going to make my team structure too good almost. Davey, you were the one that gave me the advice to bring Sterling in Game Week 3 and made me confident. Then you brought in Jackson. I mean, kid, like, you're happier than I am at the moment, brother. I'm wishing I went for that Jackson move. I mean, the Alvarez move. That would have looked a lot better. Needles saying many thanks for your help. Much appreciated. Needles, thanks for the kind words. Sell Chilwell to Chips for free, says Luke. It depends on who your other defenders are at the current moment. Because, in my opinion, I think Chilwell's a fine hold, but it's a very risky one. If you want to get a Newcastle asset in, and it's your only option, then I would probably say go for that move. Go for Trippier. But if you're fine with keeping Chilwell, taking the risk, then I would rather keep him. I don't think he's a massive transfer out. Just for fun, let's captain Alvarez. So that's not actually the worst idea in the world if you think that you still want to go for this fixture. You think it's a high scoring one. You think that Erling Haaland's been missing too many chances. I think that going for Alvarez is a fine one because you're getting that same fixture. It is obviously not as differential. Ole, I believe in giving up on Jackson, to be honest. Even if he gets a goal, he will keep getting blanks. So the only thing I will say is that I'm a little bit more swayed towards the Jackson move because of the 4 yellow cards. So almost down the line, he might get a yellow card, another one, and then get suspended. So I'm almost hoping that it happens either this week or next week so that he missed out on a great fixture. Then I'll make the transfer a little bit easier for me. The fun difference between Botman is a much better option at the moment. Yeah, I agree. I think that Trippier has the high ceiling, but I just think at the moment he hasn't produced the same returns that we would be expecting. And Needle's saying, smash the like button, only if you guys are enjoying the stream. It helps me out with the algorithm a bit, but I guess these streams are a bit wasted after the stream ends. But yeah, I always do appreciate you guys giving me feedback. So if that is a like, then that's appreciated. Thanks for the tips. I do appreciate it. Thank you for kind of watching me over the years then. Foden or Sterling, Davey? Foden, definitely. I've got Foden instead of Bruno with 2 free transfers. Do I bring in Alvarez or... So I wouldn't look at them in isolation. I would say any Man City options as they play get you points. So I would say go for Alvarez as well. Turner and Areola / Flecken and Turner. Luca, I'd probably say Turner and Areola at the moment. When you're looking to wildcard, Davey, I think the Botman Trippier choice comes down to that due to funds being tied up. So, Adam, I'm actually looking to wildcard in the future anyway. So, I guess that's why Botman might be a fine option to go for. I'm not tying myself down to kind of like, I'm on a wildcard game week 10, I want a wildcard game week 8, just because I've always wildcarded generally later on. So, I think maybe game week 18, game week 19. Smash a like for Davey in the box. Don't say that because... There are a lot of Ireland fans in here, so they're going to dislike the stream. No, if you guys are supporting Ireland, you can also like the stream. If you're supporting SA, also, if you're supporting Scotland, I mean, who do you guys want to like lose if you're supporting Scotland? That's an interesting one. Is this your final team? No, I've got to make 2 free transfers. So let's go into the transfer page so people don't get confused. I think the moves I'm currently looking at is Saliba out, and Jackson out, and then the moves we're looking to bring in is Alvarez in, and then we're looking to bring in Botman in. So those are the 2 moves that are looking likely. I'm just going to pencil them in for the time being, just because I don't want to... Let me just do this. Okay, so Saliba's first on the bench. I'm going to put Udogie first on the bench, and I'm just going to save the team. Just this way, if we do... Unfortunately, like something happens and it crashes, at least then we're going to get the full starting 11. So that's what I would suggest doing. I was hoping for Johnston news, but I don't know if we're going to be getting it. It just seems like we're getting Man City news, which I can kind of understand because... Okay, so... Here's some news for you guys. Okay, so Haaland, Doku, Alvarez, Foden, Guardiola, Kanji, Diaz, Walker all start. That's from Focal. So if you guys do own any of those defenders, it looks like all the popular options are starting. Okay, so I think we can confirm these moves then. So let's make these transfers. Are you happy with these moves? I think the majority of you guys will be. Currently, actually, the Newcastle poll is a bit closer than the other one. 57% saying Botman and 43% saying Trippier. So that's actually a bit closer. Bench Sterling or Maddison? I would bench Maddison. Damn, Jackson out. I'm starting Jackson over Maddison. That's a fine move. Like, as I said, guys, I'm fine with starting Jackson or keeping Jackson. It's just the thing about his form hasn't been that strong, and I just think that it's worth maybe taking the punt with these next 2 for Man City. And we're getting confirmed news that Alvarez is going to be playing. So any kind of guaranteed Man City attacker usually gets points. Would you do the same moves if you had Son? Yes, I would do. Ropefly, I would just keep Son. Sterling to Doku from -4. No, I just keep Sterling. Should I start Son or Matoma? Help. I think you have to go with Son then. He's just the better option. The fixture might be not be as good, but it is what it is. How confident are you of Chilwell starting? I'd probably say about 80% confident. Sterling or Luis Diaz? I guess Diaz has been playing better at the moment and more of a long-term move. I just think Sterling's more guaranteed to get minutes, so you're probably just going to opt for him. Davey, is a big difference between Trippier and Botman. You said all week. You might regret it. You said Trippier all week. Yeah, I know I said Trippier all week. That is true. I just then crunched the stats a little bit more, and the price difference is quite large as well. So that's why I think that I might just go for Botman. I know that Trippier might be the better option, but Botman still offers some good value at his price point. Do you plan to bring an Arsenal defender back in a later date? Andy, I could. then I probably would look at Zinchenko if he's going to be nailed because he has a better attacking threat. Just hope that if Jackson does end up returning, that Sterling or Chua gets the assist. Harry, exactly. And that's almost the way I thought about it, was that the fact is that Chelsea aren't playing at the moment, well at the moment. I'm reducing my kind of risk to them, my exposure to them, by taking out one of their options. I still have coverage though. I still hope Sterling does well, hope that Chua does well. It's just the fact that I'm jumping on a better team and a better asset at the moment. So I think these two moves, I'm going to confirm them. So Saliba out to Botman, Jackson out for Alvarez. Let's go confirm. So the team has loaded. I'm just going to refresh this one. Actually, is it going to be the same? Yeah, I'm going to refresh this one because it's slightly neater. So you guys can see that I've got the moves. I'm going to put the armband on Alvarez then. Is that a fine thing to do? I know it's the same game, but I mean, they're playing like in a few minutes' time. Okay, and then we're going to save the team. So you guys can see the team has been saved. This is the current team selection. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I've got 14 minutes now to simply answer your guys' questions. If we get news that Johnston is going to be benched, then we might have to take a -4. Okay, I'm just checking for news. I don't see anything. Okay, cool. Post on Discord. Yeah, actually, yes, Flip, thanks for reminding me. Jag, you can see that I haven't done this in a while. Thanks, brother. I do appreciate that one. Okay, cool. So I've got the team here. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to post this on Discord and YouTube for the members. And then I'll get back to all your questions. Okay, cool. Subtai, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully the weekend has been pretty decent. Thoughts on Onana? Actually, like, so first of all, I feel a little bit sorry. He's not playing well at the moment, but the fact of the matter is that the mistakes are just flowing in. The nice thing about him, if you guys do own him, is that he's not going to be benched because they don't have a kind of another replacement at goalkeeper. So I would say that he's a fine option. The United fixtures aren't terrible. I just think that I've lost a bit of faith in him. It's almost like a Nicholas Jackson. It's just they haven't been performing well at the moment. They definitely kind of a keep if you want to do it, but if you want to take them out, it's understandable. Most chill deadline in a while. Good luck for this week, Davey. 100%. The moves are pretty locked in. We just had to kind of make a few changes, but overall, I think I'm pretty happy with those switches. Any plans to get rid of the United assets? Bruno isn't doing well. I'll see this week, Tarang. They are fine. They are fine keep, but I don't know. Okay, what did you tag me in here? I thought you were gonna meme me, Vincent, but like, hopefully this link isn't some phishing link or something. It's an Instagram link, but like it's not loading. Who do you think will start tomorrow, Isaac or Wilson? I think that Wilson will start, William. Madison to Mbumo for a hit. No, I think you just keep Madison. Genga saying good luck, bench one. Udogi or Gusto have Chilwell in already. I think that I would probably bench Udogi. Who's the worst for this game week? Saka, Matoma, Rashford, and Bruno Madison. I'd probably say, look, on expected minutes, probably Matoma. But I would say that I might just bench Madison. I trust the Arsenal defense more than the Spurs one. But yeah. Vincent, I can't open this post. So just let me know what was happening. Good luck. Thanks, Marco. Do appreciate it, brother. Let me open it on Safari maybe, and then it will load better. Okay, Vincent, I can't open it. And I don't have Instagram, so I can't even check that. Play Saliba, Dogi, or Kabore. I'd play Kabore probably out of those options. Who's starting for City? So, if memory serves me right, it's Doku, Haaland, Foden, Alvarez, Walker, Diaz, Akanji. And that's the ones I know, I think. Your captain, it's going to be Erling Haaland, definitely. Who is his captain? Can't you guys see? Like, this way. Like, he's like here. There's my captain. Maddison or Sterling bench. I'd bench Maddison out of those two. But you want to play both of them. Let's just say that. Sterling to Doku from -4. Ben, I don't think I would do that. Hi, Stupinan or Chua to start. Thanks. I'd start as Stupinan. Your captain shows. Don't worry. Okay, cool. I thought I was going crazy for a second because I can see it in front of me here. Saliba and Chua out. Do I go double? No, I would go double Newcastle, Adam. There's too much rotation with Man City at the moment, whereas with Newcastle, yes, there might be one odd game, but you're going to be getting some certainty, so I would rather go for them. Jean-Saint Lekkerbocker, 100%. Hopefully we do well tonight. Bring one of Mbumo or Højlund. Which one? Mbumo, definitely. Martinez or Areola? I'd go Areola. Fernandes and Saka or Rashford and Foden? If you had to pick one, I'd go Rashford and Foden for the next few game weeks. Pranjal with a super chat saying bench one, Saliba, Cash or Chilwell. I would bench Saliba. Go for the high ceiling of the other two. How much in the bank? Okay, let me check for you. Sorry. In the bank is going to be 2.7 million. So now I have 2.7 in the bank. Sorry, I just have to look over the microphone. So yeah, 2.7 in the bank. Would you sell Guardiola for Botman? No. Guardiola starts, Hans. Keep him. I think he was one of the options that was confirmed to be playing. Okay, cool. Thanks, Vincent, for that one. Does that mean he starts? Hopefully. It's just a picture of Johnston posting with fans, so let's hope that he starts. Okay, I'm going to repeat you about the Man City assets. Haaland, Doku, Alvarez, Foden, Guardiola, Akanji, Diaz, Walker. They all play. So if you heard your guys' names there, that's good. Matoma for Foden from -4. Sky, I don't think this week. Vanna saying Boca, 100%. Good luck all, says Andy. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for dropping by. Hopefully it's a great weekend. Sterling to Doku. Ben, I think I answered that already. I don't think I'll do that. Thoughts on Højlund and Burn? Those options are fine. I want to see more out of the United striker, though, first. Hey, Davey, is it worth playing Watkins but benching Maddison? I already have Alvarez and Watkins. I think it's fine. It's just, like, you guys have stacked teams because the benching questions I've had this week have been super tough. Like, to decide to bench Maddison is, like, insane for me. It's like, it's a very tough decision. So, I'm happy I'm not in your guys' shoes, but it's like, there's just so many 50-50s that could go either way. Spurs for a shock win, I can feel it. I mean, they are playing decently at the moment. Alvarez in for Isaac or Jackson. Isaac's a tough one because there might be rotation in the future for him, whereas Jackson's more nailed. I would say if you think that Isaac's benched this week, I would go for him out. Martinelli to Foden for a -4. I think that's as close as a -4 is going to be worth it for Foden because you know that he's going to start. So I would say yes, unless you don't have any other bench coverage. If you have some bench coverage, you can always just play that. Viren saying Alvarez as a captain, how's the choice? I think that's a fine choice, but I think if I was going to go differential, I would go out of this fixture. Sorry for that. That was loud. I would go out of this fixture. It's almost saying that if you captain Alvarez, you hope that Man City score. So if Man City score a lot, Haaland is probably going to be involved. So I don't exactly know. I'd go out of that fixture if you guys want to go differential. Is Johnston starting? I don't know. The only thing we have is from Vincent, and it's a picture of Johnston posing with fans. So, I don't know. That's all I can see. I don't think we've had any other early team news. But let's be honest, guys. I don't think Crystal Palace early team news is the highest agenda for leakers. So, we might be a small select few that are hoping for Johnston news. Fingers crossed that he plays. Thanks for answering. No worries, Evan. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Start Botman or Chilwell? I would go with Botman, Hugh. Would you stick with Darwin or change him? I own Salah. Patrick, who are your other forwards? If it's Haaland, then obviously it's Haaland and Darwin. Do you own Alvarez already? I'd be tempted by Alvarez then. Otherwise, you can just keep Darwin. He's on good form at the moment. It just depends if he's going to start or not. Chilwell bench and start Walker. Ahmed, yeah, that's probably what I would do because you know that Walker's going to start. Would you consider Alvarez captain? No, I wouldn't, Cash. As I've mentioned, I would go out of the fixture. If you guys want to go differential, that's almost saying that, listen, I think Man City will do well, but Alvarez will outperform Haaland, which I don't think the odds are that much. Devin says, Davey Chom, I've already bought in Botman for Saliba. Put in Jackson from -4. No, I would just keep Jackson then. I don't know if it's worth a -4. Chances of a Johnston leak, pretty slim. I think we might be about 5 of us in this chat that really want a Johnston leak. So I don't think we'll be getting anything. Yeah, I don't see anything other than that. Is anyone on the wildcard? Is anyone wildcarding this week? That'll be quite interesting. We have a super chat. Chilwell start is just guessing. I'm getting Botman. Yeah, exactly. So if it's literally a risky play, and that's why I've said that I'm willing to take the risk. But if you guys aren't, then just go for Chilwell out for whoever you want. I just personally think that he's worth the risk. If he starts today, does well. He's got Fulham and Burnley. If he plays both those games, guys, those are massive holes in the cards. And that's why I'm just almost like licking my lips at the prospects, but they might not even happen. Jackson, look, I don't know what that comment means, but if it's what I think it means, that I mean, I don't know. Just if you guys can put your impression of that comment in the chat, but yeah, that's a little bit interesting, Jag. Adam saying, loving the deadline stream being back. Thanks for the advice. As always, just an idea. Would it be worth having a clock with the car? I could do that. Adam, maybe I should do that rather. It might be from my point of view though, but that's definitely something that I could try and add, especially with the new setup, because I'm going to reset everything. I'm going to make the graphics for the stream a lot better as well. So yeah, yeah. Anish, I also need a Johnston leak. Ferguson is starting, right? So the thing, De Zerbi said that he's going to be playing on Sunday, but that might mean from the bench. I don't exactly know, unless he did say definitely going to be starting from the kind of the minute 0. But I think that he should be fine. J. Alvarez as captain was the choice. So as I've said, I think I would go out of the fixture if you guys want to go past Haaland. Because what you're saying there is you think Man City will do well, but you think that Haaland will be outperformed by Alvarez, which I don't exactly know. I got Reguilon in for Chilwell. Nice move. A little bit of a risky move there. So SH saying 3 minutes to the deadline. My time it's 2. Can you answer, Mikau? I can. Hey, which of these would you start? Eze, Watkins, and Maddison. Have to play 2 of them. I think Eze, Crystal Palace play Fulham. That's a definite. Then between Watkins and Maddison, I'd play Watkins, I think. I think the chance of a Chelsea clean sheet, I think that Aston Villa will score. I think that Spurs will score as well, but I think that Watkins might be more involved. But that's literally, Mikkel, that's a coin toss. You could flip a coin 50-50 and it might give you the same. Start Saka or Sterling? You start Saka. Better fixture on paper, and he's got better form. Chilwell to Trippier from -4. Already have Botman. I would just keep Chilwell. Is it okay to keep Maddison and roll a transfer Winston? 100%. That's what I would advise. I think if you have Son, you have Maddison, you don't take them out, you keep them, because from game week 8 onwards, the fixtures look great. Saka or Jackson? I would go for Saka, Carl. Start João Pedro over Son or Sterling? No, I would just bench Ted. I just bench João Pedro. Jackson to Alvarez from -4. No, I would just keep Jackson. Joined late. How come you went Botman over Trippier? Good luck this week, Joe. Thanks for joining, even though it was late, brother. I'll update you guys quite quickly. I went for Botman because of the price difference, and Botman's stats are still looking pretty decent. I also want to open up some future routes for me. If I want to go for Salah, then I can have some money in the bank, and that's why Trippier might block me from that. So I think Trippier is a great option if you guys want to go for him, 100%. I just think that he hasn't performed as well as I would have liked over these opening game weeks to justify that extra price tag. So that's kind of a quick rundown with about 30 seconds to go to the deadline. Start Reguilon or Botman? I'd start Botman. Any news on Matoma? No news at the moment. We have deadline from Marco, which it is. You've actually timed that bang on the money. Also, Dark Lord is saying their Game Week 6 deadline. Good luck, everyone. Time up, pants down. Let's go. Green arrows all around. Green arrows and green dubs for, actually no, Ireland also green. Okay, Flip, I've just jinxed it. Ireland is definitely winning tonight because I think Ireland is playing home, South Africa is playing away. So I've just jinxed it there. The green arrows are flowing in. Apparently Ireland also going to win because I've just said that. But hopefully it's going to be a great game week. We have used 2 free transfers. Botman in, Alvarez in for Saliba and also Jackson. Let's see if Jackson performs well. Let's see if Newcastle defense is going to be worth it. But that is going to be basically the end of the deadline stream. If you guys have any other questions, you can drop them quite quickly. I'll try to get to them. Harry's saying he's hoping for an Ireland win, but best of luck regardless. Exactly. I've nothing against Ireland. If you guys win, I won't be mad at you. Don't worry. How much in the bank? I've got 2.7 million in the bank. Kanishka, yeah, it's because I haven't updated my graph. That is going to be the finances before I made those transfers. So the current is 2.7. I just couldn't update it that quickly. So I do apologize for that one. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great kind of a Saturday, Sunday, if it's a long weekend for you guys, a great long weekend. And hopefully we're going to end on a lovely green arrow, and the green arrows will be in our favor. But thanks for joining this new deadline stream on the new setup. Hopefully it wasn't too shabby, and I'll see you guys next week for the Game Week 7 one. But I'm signing off. It's been Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.